I've been watching this all day long since 10 a.m. It is so fascinating. So fascinating. By the way, in regards to the other video, just because get over here! Omar, no. Get over here. Mom always knows what it means when you go down there. Started washing the stuff out there, but unfortunately, rewashing it, it's sitting out there, but it got leaves on it and they don't seem to be coming out in the wash, so leaves a lot to be desired. Anyway, I've been watching it all day. Fascinating history making, you know what I mean? I had to watch it, and I have it taping, but I'm running out of room, so I did have to go and, make room. It's all day long. It's been since 10 o'clock this morning, and I have it all taped, which of course, all you have to do is tape what's supposed to be on, like the Ellen DeGeneres show, or Good Morning America, or Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, so fascinating. I thought Dr. Ford was extremely credible, okay? Let's just put it that way. But I did have a problem, and I did fall asleep a little bit, but again, I can watch it again, I have it recorded. I did have a problem with her being absolutely certain that it was Brett Kavanaugh who was the perpetrator in this alleged sexual assault. Yet she's absolutely certain it's Brett. Can't be anyone else. But she did a drive in where this allegedly took place. The home she admits was far away from where she lived. Okay, she has no idea how she got to the party or how she got home. And remember, she describes the whole thing, and it's horrific. But she has no idea how she got home. Somebody, if this really happened, somebody had to drive her home. She was 15. She didn't drive. It was far away. And that somebody would have seen her absolutely beyond distressed. You can't experience what she had just experienced, okay, as she described it. And I do believe, just like Joe does, just like even Kavanaugh says, we have no problem that something happened to her, traumatic, at some point, at some time, but she hasn't even remotely proven that it was Kavanaugh. Even the people that she says were there with her, and even Mark Judge, who was supposedly in the room and egging Kavanaugh on while he was sexually assaulting her, he denies it. These people, even her friend, female, said she has no recollection of this party. And if you've just experienced something like that, you are going to be distressed. Okay? Maybe you won't want to talk about it, but someone who sees you instantly, i.e. someone who drives you home, is gonna see it. And I wrote that texted that to Joe before Kavanaugh put it in his opening statement. She has no idea how she got to the party, how she got home. So that's a big deal. It's like it's not right that for anyone, an accusation, just because someone makes an accusation against you, an accusation is not a conviction, you know what I mean? An accusation, just because she's accusing him, you can't just make him say he's guilty, okay? And I have huge problems with the subsequent things that came out. Like they said, even one of the, Who Knew Your Times, whatever, the second woman wouldn't even run it because the story, because nothing could be corroborated. And the third one, we go from this to the third one that comes up is he was a gang rape. It's just, But I did think she was extremely credible. And I instantly wrote to Joe. I texted Joe. And I do feel how the Democrats feel that, why not have an FBI investigation where these witnesses who, they did sworn statements, but to be interviewed or whatever. So, anyway, that's my take on this. My biggest thing is, even if it happened to her, she hasn't proven that it's Kavanaugh. Not even remotely, and she's so certain it's Kavanaugh, yet she's absolutely clueless as to how she got to the party or how she got home. And how she got home is really important because it would have been right after she had experienced this, and you can't hide something like that. Whoever drove her home, if this really indeed happened, would know. They would see her visibly distressed, okay? It would be impossible to experience what she says she experienced, this alleged incident, and for her to not be visibly distressed. But she has no recollection of that. That's why they're saying, you know, there's no corroboration. It's not right that she gets to just sit, she's automatically believed. She says it's Kavanaugh, so it is Kavanaugh. You know, it's like... Anyway, that's my take on that. Good boy, Omar. Good boy. Good boy. Now I'm going to go pick that up. You know what I mean? So yeah, I do have a problem with that. I have a problem, but on the opposite side, I think that an FBI investigation reopened, you know, they say, why do that? Because, well, the reason is because they would interview those people. I don't know. She was very, very credible. I don't think anyone believes that she's lying, but her insistence that it was Kavanaugh is what's in question. You know, her insistence that the boy who did this to her was Kavanaugh. And it's completely inconsistent with all, you know, like he said, his whole record and all these female friends he has and he's been in such high positions, and there's never been even a hint of any sexual allegation against him ever until right now, right at the last moment when he's supposed to be, you know, they're supposed to decide whether he'll be that Supreme Court judge or not. So, you know what I mean? I have problems with that. I have problems with that, but this is fucking fascinating as hell. It's fascinating to me. But I did fall asleep briefly, so I don't know. Actually, I don't know how long I fell asleep for. I'm just doing this quickly to let you know that this is fascinating to me. I see where both sides are coming from. I do think that, you know, especially they can't just call this a job interview either. I love the Republicans guy who said, you're not going to just call and say, oh, this is a job interview and blah, blah. No, it's not. It's not fair that the burden of proof should be on Kavanaugh. It's a he said, she said. No one can prove, you know what I mean? She can't prove it. He can't, it's just a he said, she said. And you can't say the burden of proof should be on the person who's being accused. And then, oh, this isn't just a job interview, it's not a trial. Yeah, but he's being accused of crimes. These are actual crimes. And there is no statute of limitations, apparently, where this happened, which means it could go to trial, you know? There's no statute of limitations on rape in Maryland, I guess. So I was very, very moved by her opening thing. She was extremely, extremely credible, but I was also moved hours and hours later, 5 hours later, you know what I mean, by him. And I stopped watching it for a while, but it looks like they're trying to, you know, they want to prove that he can get angry and whatnot, but he can't present himself as a choir boy, unfortunately for him. He did drink, and there are people not under oath saying that he drank to excess. It's hard. I do have a problem, though, again, and he put it in an opening statement, but I sent the text to Joe ahead of time before I heard him. I sent it when I was in the middle of watching her, but that she has no idea how she got to that party. It was too far away from her to walk from where, okay, she's 15, she didn't drive, and no idea how she got home, more importantly, after this alleged incident took place. So I do have a problem with that. I do have a problem with that. And you can't just, it's not right to go the opposite. Yeah, sure, I mean, we obviously for so long women haven't been believed or whatever, but we can't go to the opposite where if a woman accuses you, you're just automatically guilty. That's not right either. You know what I mean? You can't, it shouldn't be one extreme to the other. You can't, someone's not automatically guilty just because a woman accused, that's just not right. Okay? And you already know. I listened to Stormy Daniels many months ago, her account, and just the whole thing, and the way she was just blasé, and she's like, oh yeah, we fucked just one night, never saw her. You know what I mean? It wasn't like it's an ongoing thing. But I believed her. I do believe her. Over Trump, I do. I do believe her over Trump. But that's a different situation where he's actually, there's pictures of him and her together, okay? Kavanaugh says he doesn't even know Dr. Ford, okay? There's pictures of Trump and Stormy together. There's no denying that he was at that time where she's saying that he invited her up to his suite, and just her whole thing, yeah, it was just one night, and you know what I mean? She was very convincing, okay? I believe her over Trump, but then Joe would go back to that's his personal business. I do, and I didn't like the whole back and forth either, where all this crap comes out, you know, and refutes. At first he's like, I had no idea about the hush, and then it all changes over the months. I am definitely suspicious about that. This is a different story, okay? Entirely different. I've said all along Kavanaugh could be guilty. This could be a situation he doesn't remember, okay? You are not going to remember something that you laughed with. That's why they really should be able to interview Mark Judge. He should be subpoenaed. I 100% agree with that, okay? Because we shouldn't automatically just, you know, and a statement from Mark Judge isn't enough. He should be subpoenaed to talk, you know. But since he was allegedly there as well and egging Kavanaugh on and whatnot, and you know what I mean? But not for 1 second do I believe she's making this up or political or whatever. But of it actually being him, I don't know. Unfortunately for him, he was, you know, we have people saying he was the party boy, even though he's trying to say he's not, and fascinating, that's all I have to say. It is fascinating. But those are the problems I have. I think that Mark Judge should be subpoenaed. I think that there should be an FBI investigation on the one hand. On the other hand, I have a huge problem with Dr. Ford's not being able to, she's 100% certain it was Brett, yet clueless as to how she got to the party or how she got home. And I have good for Brett for putting that in his opening thing, which went like 40-something fucking minutes. Fascinating. It's all fascinating. But her story is not being corroborated even by the people she says were there, even by her female friend. So I do have a problem with it. I have a huge problem with that, and her insistence that all this other stuff's hazy, but she's 100% certain it's Brett Kavanaugh who was, I mean, I'm going to go back to watching it. Bye.